One. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. All I did was take a bathroom break and go check the mail. So welcome to another episode of ArmTalk, the second part of the doubleheader. I'm your host, Jody Williams. We just had Courtney Hike. Check it out. Now we got Katie Owens. Katie, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
So tell me, what's going on with you these days?
Oh, wide open. Technically, I guess you would consider this my off season. Because I'm not competing. I'm still training, just not competing. Because I'm, the coach to my boys basketball team. So doing that and then doing training. So yeah, go.
No, that's good. That's good to keep yourself busy and stuff. And sometimes you need to take a break from competition, but still be able to go ahead and train that kind of stuff and still keep sharp. So now, were you sponsored last time you and I talked on the show?
I wasn't.
Okay, so let's get right into it now. And can I be completely honest? Because you and I had this chat. I actually shot you a message on Mike going, "Hey, congratulations, first and foremost." And I also said that, with that kind of stuff, that kind of fame, there's going to be haters involved and stuff. There may be some people who think you don't deserve it. Got to do all that kind of stuff and just keep your head down and keep plugging away. What have you felt, or have things changed ever since that announcement has been made?
To be honest, I feel like I've always kind of had a little bit of hate, just a little bit sometimes, even before I got the sponsorship. So people not liking me is, nothing new. But as far as like the sponsorship, it's kind of, intensified it a bit. I've seen the comments, I've heard comments. But I'm like Courtney. I don't really care what people say. And then a lot of people, they kind of, judge me before they know me type thing. Because like I said, I'm really intense on the table. Intense on the table. Just different. But, I'll talk to anybody and everybody. I don't think I'm better than anybody. We're all learning in this sport and growing. So, I just kind of use it as fuel, I guess you could say. So.
Well, okay. So in doing so, and I've always said to this, I said, listen, you were put in a pristine position because not everybody in this sport, there's a lot of us, not everybody has a sponsor. And when you get that, it's like, oh, sweet, congratulations, you got a sponsor, because a lot of us know how hard that is. I don't have one, but a lot of us understands how difficult that might be, So, in doing so, why all the hate? I don't understand why. Do you think it might be jealousy on their end?
I'm not going to be that type of person and be like, oh yeah, they're all jealous of me, because that's ridiculous. But, I don't know what it could be, but I feel like it's their own person, I guess you could say. Real grown women are going to, cheer you on. Because like I said, we're all grown here. So I feel like we all know how to respect each other. So I respect you, you respect me. I don't let anybody walk over me, and never will. But I know how to respect people. So
good. Now, do you feel any kind of extra pressure? So, what do you got? Isn't Camel City coming up soon?
Yes.
Okay. So in knowing that, Camel City, and, now you got this, weight on your shoulders, like, okay, I got this sponsorship. And so, people may sit there and go, okay, let's see how good she really is and stuff. Do you feel that kind of pressure? Do you feel like, there's a target, like, okay, everybody's gunning for you because they want to know how good you are? Yes, it is January 10th. I'm assuming, yes, January 10th. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So again, do you feel that, like, when you walk up in there, Camel City, and you look around and stuff, and you can't miss you. You're like, what, 6'1"?
Yeah.
So there's going to be guys probably not looking up at you to begin with, but still, you have this presence. This 6'1". Would you call yourself the Amazon? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you do have that aura of like, oh, okay, here we go. I want to see what she's about. And you got the ladies going, okay, let's see how strong she is. And it's always, there's a way you go about things. Like when you want to test yourself, you want to go, okay, I want to see how good she is, or is she worthy enough, to get that sponsorship? I want to know. I want to know for myself. Do you think people think like that, or do you even know, or do you even care?
I mean, I do feel like people feel that way. Feel like I haven't really went up against anyone good, which I mean, I don't I don't consider that, because all the ladies I have faced are great competitors and people, so I would never dog them like that.
Right.
Um, like I said before in other podcasts, like I treat everybody, even if they're newer, they could, have been training for years and that was their first tournament and then flash pin me. Like you can't,
Right.
you can't treat people like that. So, but I mean, yeah, I do feel, I mean, I've always felt like that, but especially like now, even before Camel City, like I know there's like a target on my back and everybody's gunning for me. But, I don't, the way I look at it, I don't have to prove anything to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's to prove to myself that I can do it. Um, and just coming back from my injury alone, says
Right.
speaks for itself. It's not, the sponsorship is not all about, me beating, elite pullers or whatever like that. It's not just about that. You have to also, people that know me know how hard I work, my work ethic. I'm very driven, and I have a strong mentality. So it's not all about the wins. It's the athlete and what they can show and prove. And even if I do lose, I'm still going to come back, and I'm going to come back even stronger every time. So
Right.
that's
And if I could be honest, because I hold you in high regard, because what I see of you is what I see in Courtney to a certain degree. And I want, please respond to this when I get done asking my question. I see you on the same trajectory, as Courtney. You just got to, there's a starting ground somewhere. So you're starting right now, ground zero, working your way up. That is what I do see going forward, how far you want to go is up to you. But, once you get to that point, I asked Courtney on the show, you were watching that, you want to pull everybody at first, but once you start getting to the upper echelon, and then there's matches, one-on-one matches, then you got to go, okay, then you got to be selective, and I think down the road, you'll be that person. Do you agree or disagree?
that you think that. So what was the question? I'm sorry. Like
Oh,
that.
sorry. I might have been talking too much.
You're good.
Do
You're
you see
good.
yourself, where when you start taking on matches that you be selective on who you pull?
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. But like I'm a little stubborn, so I like to pull anybody and everybody. So I mean I'm gonna have to like learn that, but I just like gripping up with different hands and pulling with different styles, because that's the only way you're gonna get better. I feel like you have to be very versatile to be at an elite level.
Right. Well, look at this comment by Mr. Owens. He says the problem is, and he can only speak that, he can get away with saying some things about you. So
Yeah,
he's
he
like, the
could.
problem is Katie has hit the ground running this year since her injury. She's won every tournament and super match she's had right hand, and only got second at Camel City to Merlin. So there you go. Oh, there's more too. And he also says, so she's been running through all of her competition. So she has to travel out of the seek higher level and truly find where she's currently at. You know what, Shane? I'm glad you got that. So let's pivot to where we're about to go to. All right. So now, when you're kind of dominant in your own region, and I've said this time and time again, and the people in my area, and just in general, you want to know exactly where you stand, you're going to have to, travel, come out of your backyard to really test yourself. And I think that's what Shane is saying. So, because you done everything you can in your area. So, do you agree or disagree?
I highly agree. Like the opportunities, I just need the opportunities because, even the difference between, even me and Shane were like watching the videos from, Camel City and like different, like older competitions, and, I pull completely different. So it like I just want to test myself just to see what level I'm at, because with arm wrestling, I do believe that there's levels, and
This
it's
is
a
true.
marathon, not a sprint. So,
No, I mean, and that you're right on the dot with that, because you can sit there and go, okay, I can beat everybody here, but like, what if I go to a tournament that's not down the road from my house or not in earshot distance, and then you get other people say like, let's just say, because you're going to a round robin at some point next year, correct?
mm-hmm.
Okay, let's just say you match up with a Madison Lynn or a Jolene Anderson, just for throw it out there. You're like going, okay, now you got somebody with a IFA experience, somebody with WAF experience. What if a Katie Hankey enters the fray or somebody like that? You got to sit there and kind of go, okay, because now, and I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, this is why I like some of these ladies round robin, because what it does is that, okay, for one, it'll give the ladies an opportunity to all be at one spot, because we've had such and such tournaments, and I can't say this enough. I've known promoters who cater to the ladies because the ladies are saying, hey, what about us? What about us? Perfect. Free entry, only a handful show up. Same cash prizes as the guys, only a handful show up. But for some reason or another, when you have a round robin and it's all ladies, that's when everybody comes. So you might just say, you know what? Let me just walk up there, wipe my feet off, jump in there, see what I can do, and go from there. So are you going to the first one or the second one? The second one's in Canada, I believe, the one in May. But the first one, you're going to both?
Yeah, I'm doing both. I'm doing the one in Canada and the one in North Carolina.
Okay, well, talk to us about that one. So which one's first? The one in Carolina?
No, no, Canada's first, and then North Carolina's next. So it's literally like bam, bam. So it's April and May.
Okay, so April. Okay, so let me ask you this: how do you feel about that going back to back months? Because a round robin, you pulling everybody. That's in your. So if there's 12 ladies, you pulling 11 of them. So are you going to have enough time to recover or train from one round robin to the next?
In my personal opinion, yes. I usually just give myself maybe a week off. But the reason why I like this setup is because some of these ladies I pull in both April and May. So that's a challenge to myself, because, they could beat me in April and then me come back in May and figure out how to beat them. If that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So it's actually like very challenging, and like, yeah, I mean, it's intimidating, yes, but it's very challenging, and I've been eager to find something like that.
Well, instead of saying intimidating, you can probably look at it as like, you know what? I'm gonna show y'all why I belong in the conversation. I mean, that's one way to look at it too, because I think some ladies, as quiet as it's kept, some ladies hold you in high regard too. So, I think, give yourself credit is where I'm going with this, right? Like, don't beat on yourself too badly. Give yourself credit, because I do think you belong in that conversation. It's just maybe a lot of people haven't seen you out as much, but at the same time, you got to realize that like I told Courtney, when you go to these tournaments, some way, somehow, somebody's watching, whether it be a promoter or a friend of a friend that's a promoter, whatever the case may be, somebody's watching. So this is where you got to go in there and just leave it all on the table. You got an awesome training spouse and Shane, so I'm pretty sure he knows what he's doing. Hey, What can I say, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, I know, that I am like I have talent and I have what it takes, but I also am a very humble person,
Hmm.
and there's a lot of heavy hitters, in those round robins, and I've never been in one, so I don't know how my body it will react to it. But I'm feeling really really strong, and I feel like I'm gonna surprise a lot of people.
Well, the round robin, it's a little different. I can tell you that. Justin Green's in the chat. He can tell you that. I'm pretty sure Shane can tell you that. It's different to where you almost may have to train differently and approach differently because now it's all about stamina. You might be your freshest rounds 1 and 2 and 3, but if you got 8 more women to pull, what's that going to look like? And granted, they're going to be just as tired as you are, but then a lot of it has to do with the luck of the draw. Like, okay, who do you draw first? Who do you draw in the middle? Who do you draw last? Right?
I agree.
Yeah. So I'm not sure how this thing's going to unfold. The one in Canada, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think Gina Stuckless is doing the one there. I'm not sure if you girls are going to know who your first round opponent is, and then whatever happens after that, or what. But you know, um, I always thought because I'll use Jocelyn Brisson as an example. Last year going into that round robin, we all knew who Josh was, but at the time when Sarah Backman was there, everyone thought that she's not getting pinned; she'll walk through everybody. And when Jocelyn pinned her, it sent shockwaves everywhere else, right? It sent shockwaves everywhere else. And so it was like, oh, we got to pay attention to her, right? And then the following weekend, she goes to a MAC event and beats Heidi Corden 3-0. So now all of a sudden, rocket ship, ping, you know what I'm saying? So this could be an opportunity, not just for you, but anybody on there to be on that round robin, just send shockwaves. I think, and I want to put pressure on you because you're one of the favorites I got winning in that class. So I don't want to put any extra added pressure on you, but I do think, you're the favorite going into that. Any responses to that?
As far as being the favorite, I don't know, because like I said, there's a lot of seasoned, athletes there.
Mm-hmm. And they are, but it's just, and I don't have the list on me. I probably could look it up there, but just to know that okay, but it's not going to be a walk in the park. It's not. I mean, to anybody who wins it deserves it. I will say that because if this is your first round robin, just know that okay, there might be some strategy involved, right? You may have to. I've seen some people lay down a couple ones, right, just to go ahead and come back strong, toward the end, and then reap the benefits. Now I don't know. Is there what prize is that at the end of it? Is there cash? What are we talking about here?
I believe there is a cash prize for the NC one. Um, I could have swore for Canada too, but I'm not 100% positive on that. Um, but for North Carolina, I'm sure that there is winnings for that one.
Okay, here we go. So Lucky just sent this to me, so I'm gonna read off. Okay, so the one in April. Okay, you'll be at that one. So the 160 and up. I'm gonna read these names. Okay, Canada has fake money. Justin. So Jolene Clark, Amanda Dyer, Kathy Facey, Freddie Forrest, Lorraine LeBlanc, Madison Lynn, Tiffany Lynn, yourself, Stephanie Spencer, Crystal Marr, Martha Swick, and now Merlene Valentina. With those names I mentioned, hey, how much do you know of your opponents? How much you don't know? What do you expect?
Honestly, like you said, it's not going to be easy. But I do believe I'm going to surprise a lot of people. But I mean, honestly, I just don't know what to expect because I mean, there are ladies on that list that I have pulled, and but mostly they're all fairly new.
hmm which is good because I think and like I said, I look at it like this. There is some way somehow there's going to be somebody in there that'll probably shock everybody, because any one of you ladies can win that thing. Okay, let's be completely honest. Any one of y'all can win that. But like I said, and I know, everybody in the chat knows, when it comes to these kind of matches, it all depends on who you draw first, and do you want? Hopefully, you get the best person on there. You get them at your freshest, because sometimes us pullers can be a little finicky, even armchair quarterbacks, where if you beat somebody who's real ranked high, you beat them, and you find out that you beat them in round 10 or something like that, then it's like, well, can you bring them fresh for fresh? It's always something, but hey, all you got to do is show up and win. All the rest is just details. That's my thing going into tournaments and stuff like that. So but yeah, I think Lucky just posted Canada has cash awards first through third, 1 through 6. North Carolina has, oh, I'm sorry, cash for Canada first through third, awards from 1 through 6. But then Carolina, it's top 3 get cash. All right, but do we know the payouts though? Like, what is the buy-in? Do you know?
I do not. I can't
Okay.
really speak on that. Yeah, I'm not sure on that.
Okay, so let's just say if it was 100, just for the sake of argument, Lucky might know this. If it's 100 and you got 12 ladies in your class, that's what, 1,200. My math might be off, but it could be something like that. So going home with something that's pretty dang awesome. It's pretty dang awesome. What are your goals for 2026 now that you're done competing for the calendar year?
Goals is, I'm trying to, I don't, if this makes sense, I don't want to like jump or skip anything, but I would like to, get some bigger super matches. Definitely winning these round robins would definitely be some good goals as well. So, but I mean, I have a jam-packed calendar, so it's just development and getting stronger.
Oh, here we go. So to answer my question, the buy-in for Canada is $100 deposit. For North Carolina, that will be returned, but holds your spot. Okay, so it'll hold your spot. There you go. Gotcha. Now with your calendar being full, very busy person. What does that include though, aside from the round robins in Camel City?
A lot of North Carolina events, VAL events. Obviously the round robins. Honestly, I would have to look because like that's the good thing about having a sponsor, But when you get on here and you don't have your sponsor, you're like, but there's several events.
I can send him a link right quick if you want me to.
Do what?
I can send him a link if you want me to.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Yeah, I'll send him the link and go ahead and roll with it. So you say you're not quite sure exactly, that kind of deal. Is that what you said?
Yeah, because I have them in my calendar book, but I don't have my calendar book in front of me at the moment.
Right. What about a world, like a national world or something like that? Do you think?
I would love to do something like it. I don't. Nationals is definitely on the list. And I'd love to do worlds. I mean, there's so many possibilities. It's just getting there. And showing up, but definitely something like that. And obviously like learn like a long-term goal would obviously be East versus West, or WAL, or any of those organizations would be awesome.
Now, aside from the list that I just read with the round robins, and you could pick them too, but there are some ladies out there that you probably would like to match, whatever, that are not on this list. Tell me some names you would love to compete against, just to see where you stand in the sport. Do you have those?
I do, for different times, if that makes sense. But there's some of the there's lightweights and heavyweight women that I'd like to pull. But yeah, I have a couple of names. Obviously there's several on the list of the round robin. The one that is not on the list, but she's a complete badass, and that's Lee Aaron, and she'll pull any weight class.
She'll pull,
Um,
yeah, I think she pulled a coyote one time or something like that. But yeah, she'll pull any one and don't care.
yeah, and I love that. I love her intensity, and I like watching her pull. So she's definitely on my list. Um, let's see who else. I would love to one day pull Jocelyn. Heidi is another one. I
Oh,
would
look,
like
look,
to face a lot of. I would like to face women, that is bigger than me or somewhat in the same size as me. If that makes sense, same lever. Because I feel like that would be even more of a challenge.
before I introduce Alan on the show, hey, Kitty, what kind of shirt you wearing right now?
Do what?
What kind of T-shirt you wearing right now?
Oh, that's hilarious.
Look at that! Shout out to my boy Tim Talmadge.
That's
Rocking
great.
the
Hey, hey, we
Alan.
love it. We support all. We support all. So I'm happy for it. You're gonna see Katie wear a whole lot of shirts with a whole lot of promotions, and we want to spread the word and make this community grow. It ain't just you. It ain't just me. It ain't just anyone. It's all of us, Bubba.
Nice. So I asked Katie a question. She wasn't real sure, because 2026, she has a busy schedule.
Very,
So
very.
this is where she's like, I don't know. I don't have a calendar with me. So I'm thinking, oh, I got the answer. Let me
Katie
go
ain't
ahead and
even.
see the
Katie.
link.
Katie's not gonna be able to unpack. She's just gonna keep that luggage on the porch ready at all
Pretty
times.
much.
Well, I asked her, aside from like the Camel City, aside from the 2 round robins, what does she have in store
So I just
for
so in
2026?
so in June, I have. So let me start by saying, even before Katie and I made our partnership together to get our journey going together, she already had that totem pole that she was wanting to climb in the right order. She didn't want to go ahead and bite off more than she thought she was ready. She wanted to earn her keep. She wanted to earn her name. She wanted people to put respect on her name by starting and earning it up. So she's already got a list in mind that she wanted. And what I want to do is try to make that dream happen for her. So we've got a list of ladies' names, right and left hand, to try to keep her going. But June, after the round robin in um, May, June, well, it was June 6th was Carolina Clash 2, but literally not even 15 minutes ago, I just found out the venue that I had is actually shutting down. So I'm gonna have to line it up. But with, this many months out, I'm confident we can still make June 6th happen for Carolina Clash 2. And I'm looking to put mainly national and southeast ranked matches on that card. So of course,
Okay.
Katie being the number 3 right hand, number 1 left hand, right, Katie? Is that right?
Yeah, I'm number 1 left hand, number 3 right hand.
Yeah, in Southeast,
Yes.
obviously, it's natural we want to put her on there. But where you're already number 1, we got to start checking with the national rankings and the hook rankings with Chance and all them, and start seeing the pecking order there. But like I said, I really respect Katie. She's got that totem pole she's wanting to climb in order to earn.
Mhm.
She wants people to put respect on her name, and I think it was given to her, and I love that about her.
And I like that. I think even Shane and I answered something in the chat where you like to chase your losses, like you want to go ahead and right that wrong and things like that. And before you got on, Alan, Katie and I were talking, and I asked Katie. I said, "Hey, you know what? If she agree or disagree, and I want your take on it too." I asked Katie. I said, "Katie, everyone's good when you dominate your own area. You got to venture out to see how you really stand and stuff." And she's up to it. How do you feel? What's your response to that?
Yeah, and this is where, yeah, in the Southeast, I don't think there's, I mean, Southeast, certainly, there's nobody, she's no stranger to anyone. So we got to start getting her across the Mississippi into the Midwest and start, like, we're bringing these ladies down. You mentioned it in one of your previous podcasts. Ontario has got just a huge women's divisions. Great support up there from those ladies, and we need to get some of them like Freddie and some of them down here to grab a hold of Katie as well. And that's what we're taking her to them. It ain't fair just for me to try to bring them to us. We got to hit the road and start traveling, put her out there. So that's what we're doing. But Katie right now. I'm loving it that she's being seen. Other than you, she's being seen as an underdog for that round robin in Ontario. You're a big Katie fan, and you spoke on that.
Yeah.
But she is, she's certainly not an underdog to me. But I think she likes that. She wants to be that underdog. She may not even be, but I think she's going to tell herself she is just to keep her drive going. So that's what I love about it.
And let's not forget Justin Green said there's a good female contingency in the Utah area, and
Good to know.
whatever reason you drink the water out there, they're different. Let's be real. I mean, if it's Jolene Anderson, John Brzezinski used to live there. Todd Zilla used to live there. Bob Brown's there now. Robert Baxter's from there. Cody Merritt's there. Justin, Jordan Seal. List goes on and on. I'm telling you, there's something about the water down there, or maybe it's that snow coming off them glaciers or those mountains, whatever. But it's a whole
strong.
Yeah.
I've watched. So I do a lot of YouTube and different state tournaments and stuff. Just to learn more of the ladies, and Jolene's definitely that's another one that I would like to pull as well. She looks strong.
Well, the reason why I got you the favorites, because not saying you're going to walk through everybody, but I will say this though: of all the ladies in there, in that round robin, the one list I just read off, in that 160 and over class, there is someone out there that I'm really wanting to see you match up with, and that's Madison. I really want to see that match. I think you have a longer lever than she does, though. But nonetheless, she's very powerful, where she's compact, where if she gets you in here, it's like, man, good luck getting out of that. So I think it's a clash of different styles. So that's why I'm really looking forward to that. But again, like I said earlier, it all depends on who you draw and when you draw them. And then and all that, goes into play, And yes,
Yeah, sure.
Danny Man says Martha Swick would be fun. I mean, like I said, this is no disrespect to all the ladies in the round robin. It's just anybody can win. But that's why it's so important to find out the combination of, who pulls first and when.
So I'm not sure what Gina's decided to do with that one, if she's going to announce the rounds beforehand. I really hope she does, just so people can plan. But that's that's me speaking for kind of what I want for Katie as well. But this is where Katie's going to wish Alan would just shut up. Don't blink when Katie goes against Maddie. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Well,
I've watched them both. I've reffed them both. Okay.
How good is your left hand?
My left is really strong.
Okay. You know what? I know somebody that would love to pull your left hand.
Who?
Yes. From one Katie to another. Katie Hankey.
Oh yeah.
Oregon Jones.
I want to pull her. She's on my list too. Yeah, for sure.
So Jody, so I don't know if you noticed, Katie, we just set Katie up at the May event versus Leah Hennessy left hand. So
yes, I did see that. I saw that flyer. And I did see that. And, Hennessy came out to Washington State 2023, maybe, I think it was. And she came out there and, kicked some ass, But I'm telling you, Katie Hankey, she's one where, the ladies are like, oh, yeah, I know Katie, She just had a match with Shauna Wagner, I believe, But she's another one where it's like, you know what? I can't wait to see how all this is unfold. Now, she probably won't be on this particular round robin, but is she on the one in Canada? I don't see. Does anybody have a list for that round robin, the one that Gina's putting on?
I don't have it in front of me. Katie, I don't think Katie's on the Ontario round robin, though. Katie's on our right-hand round robin in May. And then we put her with Leah left hand, and then Katie's got Shauna left hand, 1-1, which I'm excited about. And then but Katie, what a super nice too. Gosh, Katie's such a sweetheart too, when she's been messaging me. What a great lady. I mean, she's awesome. I like her a lot. And
just like you said, I wouldn't sleep on Katie Hankey, because I'm telling you right now, the speed that she possesses, it's like, okay, as soon as you realize what the hell is going on, your arm might be down there. So, she's one not to sleep on, either. But no, good for her. I'm excited for her match against Rhea. Where's that taking place again?
And the May one is going to be in Warrenton, North Carolina, at the Bragging Rooster. Yeah, it's going to be an all ladies event. It's female owned venue, female owned food trucks, female live performance afterwards. It's just because and I was telling Katie's got two young ladies on her team, Brinley Englehart and Kennedy Hoeing. I just got the green light on Brinley Englehart this morning. She's 13 years old. She pulls with them. We're getting her involved in the event as well. So we're starting 13 all the way up to we are. It's as you can see what we're doing, Jody. It's everywhere. We're trying to bring it across
I'm
the whole
loving it.
spectrum. It's I love what Shane said. Shane said no males in the event except Alan. I was like, that sounds so horrible. That is not at all how it was intended to be.
Well, here's the thing. I think there's a bigger pool for some reason down south. There's just a bigger pool to choose from as far as events, clubs, and that kind of stuff. Where I live out here in the Pacific Northwest, there's not many. So it's kind of like, we're so small that we don't even have our own. We don't have a state title. We have to go to Washington to compete for a state championship. We don't have one here. Idaho has one. California has two. Washington have one. We don't have one, and it's unfortunate. But then we have to travel to do so. But as far as the talent pool, it's there, but it's not as deep as down south or the Midwest or Southwest or the Northeast. It's just right in the central part of the country. It's just, it's just not as deep, in the Pacific Northwest. And we're working our way. But yes, Alan, to answer your question, I do see what y'all doing there. And I'm glad you're doing it because now it gives ladies more like, okay, a bigger landscape, so to speak, where it's like, okay, we can do this. And, Katie, here you are. You're going to be the face down south, like, okay, let's do it,
Well, and that's what Katie's not just pulling. That's what I hope everybody recognizes. Katie's making an effort to be a pioneer for it, not just a puller as well. Katie's making a big push for it. So every decision I'm wanting to do, even though we're not saying it in all of our social media posts, that is not an Alan decision on everything. That's an Alan talking to Katie, bouncing ideas off of her, what she thinks is a good idea. Because, when it comes to promoting these female events, I need to hear it from the crowd. What do you wish has been happening? What do you want to happen?
Right.
Where do you want y'all to be? And who better than someone like Katie, who I've got close to me, to tell me, Alan, no, I wouldn't do that. Yes, I would do this. This is what we're lacking. And so many times I hear from the females, it's because I'm female, I'm not getting the same attention. And it, really didn't click at first until I started seeing it for myself. I'm like, you're damn right. You are 100% right. You are 100% right. You're not getting the same look because they think this is going to be a flash in the pan, and that's not what this is going to be.
Well, can I respond to that?
Yeah, buddy.
So we'll take Tim Talmadge, Arm Sports Entertainment, where the ladies pull for free at his event. He has one in Arizona in the summer, has one in Washington in December, and other promoters, says, hey, you know what? You're right. Let's go ahead and give you ladies the same kind of cash awards that we give the guys. But for some reason, the numbers are getting better, but they're just not there. But then I also said that, what? For whatever reason, you got these round robins. That's when it's like, okay, they're all there. So maybe you have to use that as a means to like, okay, if we're all going to get out here, then this is what it's going to be. What's y'all's thoughts to that?
I don't think I've said this out loud yet on social media. I know I've said it in discussions. That round robin is we've got 8-8 right now. I really want it to be 7-7, but it's like I told Katie and all the other ladies, I anticipate somebody falling off and I not feel that 8th spot. But outside of those 16 females that we have in the round robin, I've got it up to almost close to 40 females involved in this event with super matches. So it's like, you mean to tell me I'm going to have a total of 40 pullers in one place? I've never seen that. I've never seen that. And so I hope it has happened, but I've never seen that many females in one place to pull. So,
and that's what needs to happen. But I got to ask, you two a question, and I'll let Katie take this.
Let Katie take it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like I asked Courtney on my show before we went live, and I asked her, once you reach a certain level in this sport or whatnot, where she started off just taking, I want to compete here and everywhere and all that kind of stuff. And then you kind of wonder that, hey, how does it look? Well, what does that landscape look like when you talk to somebody, go, okay, when you take on matches, are you selective, that kind of thing? So, Katie, what does that look like?
As far as like, what was the question?
Like, for example, super matches. How does that, when they approach you, do you go yes or no, maybe, or what does that look like?
Well, for me, it might be a little different because, like, technically, I mean, I've been doing this for 2 years, but technically, I've only been doing it for a year. So I'll pull anybody and everybody. I feel like, in my personal opinion, I feel like I have a little bit more growth to do before I start nitpicking.
Right.
Just my own personal opinion. But I just want to pull more people in different hands and go to get different styles. Because not everybody pulls the same.
No, you're right. There is different styles. I've always had this thing, and I could be wrong, where the people out west like the top row, the people down south like to go into a hook. That's just one of my, things.
You're right. You're right.
Okay. Just want to make sure. It just seems that way. Like, I started my 16th year in the sport this month, and and I've been traveling around the country and stuff like that. And I've noticed that, you go to a certain part of the region, they pull a certain way, and then you go somewhere else, like, oh, y'all pull totally different. So I do understand that. So yeah, the follow up of what Katie says, yeah, you want to pull more hands because styles make matches, and you want to know that, okay, is what I'm doing training wise, is it working? Because if you're like the top dog, not calling you a dog, but if you're the top dog in the South, okay, and Shane's like, hey, we got this going. What do you do if you go travel to New York or Texas, Kansas City, Utah, whatever, Michigan, whatever? Does that same thing apply? That's going to be the number one question. And so I'm excited, to see where you go with this thing come 2026, because seriously, like, I think you solidify yourself in the South as, hey, the queen down there. But now it's like, okay, where do you want to go from there?
Where do I want to go from there?
Yeah, like, I mean, do you want to go to Michigan State?
I want to go anywhere and everywhere, honestly. Like, traveling with my best friend, doing what we love is pretty much like, it's like a dream. Like, I absolutely love it. Us, traveling and meeting different people. We just would like to expand more, in different states, because like I said, different styles. But I mean, with me, I pull whichever way I need to win.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't know, challenging. I want a challenge.
No, and that's good. And you should be able to challenge yourself. And I can't tell you, what kills me, and maybe Alan can attest to this, or maybe Shane can attest to this, where, because I know it happens on the guy side, where it's like, you don't want to be that big fish in a small pond, okay? I've gone through that with certain people. I've had multiple conversations with some people going, look, man, come up out of that, but they're scared to take a loss. It's like going, okay, well, what the fuck, if you're worried about losing, then this ain't the sport for you, like Shane said, you want to right those wrongs, chasing losses, right? That's what you want to do. How do you feel about that? Like, because you said, okay, if I lose, fine, I'll just go back, fix what I need to fix, and go forward. Is that what I'm hearing from you, Katie?
Yeah, I mean, that's always been my mindset. I don't ego pull. I'm not scared to lose. Learning, losing is learning, in my opinion. And that's what's going to make you, a better athlete, in my opinion.
Now, you just said one word, and I gotta, we're gonna pivot again. So you said ego pull. For me, when I hear that, I think of, okay, after pulling. Here we go. We all know those people with their cameras and stuff, trying to film shit, and I'm like, all right, they're being weird. What does your after pull look like? What do you take from after pulls? What does that look like with you?
Honestly, it just depends on who I'm pulling. If you want my honest opinion, I have to
Mm-hmm.
be a little bit more. I have to be way more aggressive with men than I do with
Yeah.
the females. With the females, I'll see what they have, and if the strength gap is tremendously like a big gap, you know I'm still learning, so I try to give them what I know, but with the men it's a little different, but it's just knowledge, and I have a very good endurance, so I constantly, from the time I get there to the time I leave, I'm pulling. Anybody that knows me knows I'm pulling. That's all I do.
Well,
So
that's the name of the game,
constant.
right?
One thing I like, you touched base on it about how you start learning and doing different things, and similar to not just after pulling. What I love about Katie when she's at the Val events to do tournament style is she's hopping there with the 198 men. And what I'm seeing with her, she's not necessarily going in there. Of course, she's going to win. Don't get me wrong. She's not going in there to flash pin and do these things. She's going there trying different lanes, working on these guys as well, treating it just as it is. Because one thing Val is great about, they let the females into their events for free as well. So shout out to Val for doing that. I think that's awesome. I love it. And but Katie hopped in the 198s at the last one, and that was November, right? Katie, was it October?
No, November.
November last
Yeah.
month. Yeah. She was in it, and I'm seeing Katie work a high hook on these top notch, legit 198s, and she's catching them, and she's surging. I'm like, that's growth, baby. That is growth, baby. And I'm looking over at Shane, and Shane said I missed the call. I cost Katie a match, but I became a
You
fan
did,
for a
Alan.
second.
You did.
I became
Damn
a
it.
fan for a second.
Did you just get called out by Katie Allen?
Yeah, my own person. I'm losing her. I'm losing them for her.
It's with love. It's with love.
No, I mean, but I'm glad that trajectory is there. Because I'm telling you, man, like I said, I don't want to put any extra pressure on you, but looking at that, man, hey, you know what? I think she's the favorite. But what happens then is like, and like before you hopped on, Alan, I was explaining to Katie and everybody to chat that these round robins are so popular now, and now we're starting new fresh faces in there too, which is good. Because now it's like maybe Jocelyn Brisson set the tone and says, okay, you know what? I came from this round robin. Look where I'm at now. Now, can anybody follow her footsteps? Maybe, maybe not. But there was a starting point. So maybe, there's a starting point for Katie or Merlene or whoever, on the lighter weight, there's Lucky, Amanda, any name, Martha Swift, whatever. There's always someone out there that can go, okay, and maybe they can use Jocelyn as like, well, if Jocelyn can do it, maybe I may have a chance. Maybe that might be the motivation. Because now that you see Jocelyn, she's on the main card. She's one of the elite pullers now. She just went to Worlds and took a third place. That's saying a lot. Now, again, though, it all depends on what that person wants, but it's there, and it's like, okay, she cracked that egg. She smacked Sarah Bachman, shook up the world. Following weekend, took down Heidi Cordner 3-0, and then all of a sudden, all right, get your engines running because we're going to roll with this, and it may be that way for Miss Katie Owens. Get your engines, hey, start the car, Alan, start the truck. We rolling because if she walks out of there, and wins that thing, and like I said before, because this sport is so out there, with the social media and stuff, somebody's going to be watching, and I'm sure, with you going, okay, Katie's done this, Katie does now, she's doing good. Check her out at this event. Check her out at that event. Shane's doing the same thing. Katie, you're in a good spot right now is where I'm getting with all this, Agree or disagree?
Agree.
I would 100% agree. And this is that's the thing. Katie's very humble with her aspect going into that, into the round robin in Ontario. and kind of being the unknown in that area, just from a geographical standpoint, which is perfectly understandable. You know what I mean? That's 100% understandable. But, once we go there and perform, she performs and does well, because I know she will, the options become a little bit broader. But at the same time, you just have to, I have to be careful, because it's like I don't want we can't get sucked back into something smaller if she does well. You know what I mean? And I want to keep it the different hands, West Coast, East Coast, the South, up in the Midwest. So I'm really thrilled about grabbing a hold of Lexi Deerfield as well. I've been wanting her to get a hold of Lexi for a bit. We've talked about her. Madison, I joked earlier about Don't Blink, but Madison is phenomenal. That was a joke. Maddie is very, very good. I've refed her events. Her father, I have a ton of respect for him. And getting a hold of the Beth Dukes and all these people, we're really excited about it. So it's Freddie. I'm looking forward to grabbing a hold of Freddie and Leah and all them in a competition standpoint. It's just, I really think between May and June, with those 2 round robins, you're going to see the best of not only just Katie, but about 20 different females. You're going to get the best of them. Those 2 events are really going to put female arm wrestling on the map. My opinion.
This is what I see going, after these round robins. And this is questions going to both of you, and I'll let Katie answer first. When these round robins, both of them, because they're back-to-back months, and Justin already said round robins recovery is way longer than a tournament. So the fact that you're doing both of them is like, ooh, okay, be careful. But I'm going to say this. When these round robins are all said and done, I guarantee you there's going to be some super matches made stemming from that event, if I'm not mistaken. Katie, what do you think?
I think it's a good platform to set up super matches. Absolutely. Because the round robin, it is a different setup. Like I said, I've never done one, so I don't know how I would do in one. But yeah, I do think that there could be a lot of super matches made from this event, from these 2 events.
Yeah. Alan, what do you think?
That's kind of the plan. I mean,
Okay.
to me, that was kind of the plan. I'm getting these hands together, because from a geographical standpoint, they don't have the opportunity to hit the after pool table. All right. So, Katie and all the 15 ladies that are the 16-ish at this point, ladies that we have in mind, are going to go through a round robin, but then they're going to hit that after pool table with left hands, and they're going to start feeling each other out, and they're going to start seeing what each other are about. So not only is it going to really springboard for Katie and her super match, let's just say, okay, let's say Sean and Sarah Ray. Sarah Ray's at that the upper 154 class.
Okay.
She could go 160, no problem. Sarah down in Texas, not getting to pull the Shauna up in Wisconsin, not getting to pull the Lexi in Minnesota, not getting to pull the Katie's in North Carolina. You start
Right.
feeling these hands, and then it's like, I want that again. I want to feel that at the competition table. So that was kind of, planting the seed for things to come, and be able to pull these females into super matches in the future, and they get the same treatment as what I'm treating the males for Rumble and the Rooster this next weekend, and the treatment they're getting in the round robin, where I'm taking care of their stay, the ladies in the round robin, I'm taking care of their Airbnbs. I want them to realize that they deserve the same treatment that us males have gotten in the sport as of late. So that was kind of the seed I was wanting to plant, was this, and we did this with the 176 round robin, where I had the Alec Goose, and I had the Joe Rogers and the Lance Hans and the Michael Goss from all over the country come in. Next thing you know, I'm setting up super matches with them. That's exactly what I was wanting with this as well. Bringing in the top
Right.
notch females from all over the country and having them hold hands, if you will.
Oh, here we go. A lot of people don't know this, but Alan mentioned to me 2 years ago that someone, in capital letters, need to step up and give the ladies of North America at all one event. And now it's going to happen, 98%. So here you go. And here's the thing. Where I was going with that was the fact that, this is where the armchair quarterback kind of sneaks in and makes their comment, where you beat somebody, but okay, can you do a fresh for fresh? It's all, and that's why I brought that up because yes, and that's why it's so important. Like the women I just named, Katie, I want you to tell me who do you think the biggest threat to you is? I'm gonna read them off again because I like to know who do you think the biggest threat is?
You put my
Jolene
girl on the
Clark.
spot right now. Here we go.
Right, right.
This is what happened. Hey, if you're gonna be on my show, rest assured, and you're gonna be wearing an Arm Sport Entertainment shirt, you're gonna get put on the spot. So here,
Hey, I'm okay with that. That's fine.
the ladies I'm gonna name, who's gonna be the biggest threat? So Jolene Clark, Amanda Dyer, Kathy Facey, Freddie Forrest, Lorraine LeBlanc, Madison Lynn, Tiffany Lynn, Crystal Marr, Stephanie Spencer, Martha Swick, Merlene, Valentina. Of all those ladies, and remember, there's 12 of them, including yourself, which means you got 11 matches. Who poses the biggest threat to you?
There's several on that list.
Mhm.
Do I just have to name one?
Or just give me two, and then we'll go ahead and we'll do some scenarios. Go ahead.
Okay. Probably Martha and Merlene.
Okay, Martha Merlene. So let's play devil's advocate for you like playing games. Let's play devil's advocate for a second. Okay, let's just say you select or random draw. It's Merlene first round matchup. Honest question: is that match different in round 1 than it would be in round 11?
I mean, I feel like so. I mean, like if we're fresh to fresh, and then we're both gassed. I mean, it's and also we have to think of like injuries and stuff at that point. If I'm too tired, I'm sorry. Like I've broken my arm. I'm not about to risk myself and get hurt. So I'd probably just lay down if you want my honest opinion.
Oh, we don't talk about broken arms on this show. So that's like a curse.
Well, I'm sorry. I was answering your question. But like in round robins, I mean, injury is more. What's the word I'm looking for? Like it's more prone to happen with something like that because you're facing 11 different people.
Yes, and that's why I said earlier in the show, I'm trying to get you to grasp what I was trying to tell you. As the favorite, as I got you as the favorite, I'm trying to get you to understand something though. Like this is not trading for like a tournament. This is not trading for a super match. Okay. It's, you got to pull because in tournaments, how many times have you been to a tournament and you did not get a chance to pull some of the ladies in your class because maybe they got bounced out before you got a chance to meet them? With these women, 12 people, you're going to pull 11 matches no matter what. So your training for this round robin is going to be a little bit different. You see, that's what I'm trying to get you to understand because you said you've never been in one before. So again, you gotta, maybe this is more of a stamina thing. Trust me, I've been there before, and it'll take a toll on you because you like I say, you may be ready to roll first 3 rounds, but as the rounds get lighter, you may not have enough gas in the tank. But know this though, hey. The other person's feeling the same thing, unless they got experience in these round robins, then that might be a little different. So I'm just trying to get you to understand that, But if you take Merlene, which I know, are you going to run up at some point? You and her are going to clash at some point at Camel City, yes?
Yes.
So there's that. So maybe, just maybe, if y'all meet up, you might have a taste or a sample of what's to come the round robin. Who knows? Just kind of be ready for that. That's all I was trying to say. I'm not trying to put pressure, but just kind of understand that round robin is a whole different animal. So
I'm completely aware. I just all I can do is go in it and give it the best I can. Like I said, losing is more fuel to my fire. So
right.
That's
Alan,
not so country. My fire.
See, there you go. So, Alan, what do you think about that? I was kind of explaining to her, how to approach this thing. I'm not, like I said, I am not the one to tell her what to do.
So,
I'm not.
I did a 198 round robin myself. It was a road to the pros. It was really the high M's in the East Coast across about 6 different states. We were all amateurs at the time, and we all
Mhm.
agreed that was going to be our last amateur event because we were at that cusp to go pro, and
Right.
we did that. That was a 10-man round robin. The quality that the puller that you are going into those last couple rounds are drastically different than how you started. And so when I saw this list growing and growing, it puts a couple concerns in my head. One from a safety, obviously. You know, that
Yeah.
12 females is a lot in a round robin. And when I saw that, I was like, I just know the risk. But you start have to thinking, and Jody, I think you know this. Let's just say, I'm not going to say Katie, but let's just say it's Freddie and LeBlanc. And, Freddie's in a losing position in round one. Do you
Mhm.
really battle that? Or let's just go ahead and give up this one to save my energy for the next 10 rounds. You know what I mean? And you
Yeah.
have to think like that. And I say that because we had these boys that some of them were gassed in round one or two. I tell you, I'm going to give you a great example. Greg Gray out of
Texas.
Texas.
Yeah.
Greg Gray came into our round robin, 176 round robin with Joe, all the names I named earlier, as a favorite. He had wars the first 3 rounds and lost. He ended up going 0-9. Greg Gray, 0-9. Why? Because he was gassed after the
Yeah.
first three. He was done. He couldn't feel his hand. And so you really have to think about that when you get into a war. And if you get put in that losing, you never pull to lose. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
But if you're in a position that the probability of you coming back is extremely low, use your own judgment. I'm never saying lay down, but you have to
Right.
be smart in a round robin.
There is strategy. So let's just say this: if Katie, and going back to you, and just the last question before I wrap this thing up, if you're pulling Freddie right now, right? You're pulling Freddie, and I don't know how if you'll know who you're pulling down the road, but you know you're struggling with Freddie, elbow fouls, false starts, you're just burning, ready goes, and you got Mark the Swig who poses a threat to you. At what point do you go, okay, you know what? If I lock up and get into a barn burner, take the match because I want to see if I can beat, whatever juice I got left in the tank. I want to be able to know if I can still, compete with Martha. Is where I'm going with that. I think that's what Alan's trying to say. What do you think, Katie?
I mean, I think that's smart. Like I said, where I haven't done around robin, I've focused on mainly just training and getting stronger. Good thing is I have Shane. I have a Shane, so he's very intelligent when it comes to this sport and in general. So that it's he'll be able to help me with a game plan and stuff like that, and we kind of just bounce off of each other, and go from there. But I do agree. I mean, I feel like I'll have to have a strategy. But as of right now, I'm trying not to stress too much about the strategy because I don't want to like overwhelm myself.
Right.
So like I said, I'm just thinking about getting stronger at this point.
Well, there you go. Well, with that being said, I want to thank you for joining me on the show again. Alan, thank you for popping in. And
And I
Thanks,
appreciate you hollering
Alan.
at me, Bubba.
everybody in the chat, don't forget Camel City, January 10th, correct? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. January 10th. Is there a way we can see that event? That's going to be a big day because we got the arm melter January 10th up in Canada. Courtney's, quest for 4 belts that day. So we got Camel City January 10th. Can anybody tell me how can we watch the show? Do we know, or how's that work? Who's going live?
I'm not positive. I know that I do know that they live stream it. I do know that, but I'm not sure what the channel would be. It could be Unapologetic Patriot with Ted Mielnicki and his team. It could, I'm guessing that would probably be the most likely
Mhm.
page to catch the live stream for that event. But it has, to your point, I mean, and you touched base on it, that's a phenomenal event. I think this is the fourth one, and they've been
Yeah.
it's gotten better each and every year. It's a great tournament, especially in our area. So, yeah, reigning champ right there. But yeah, it's get shout out to Camel City Classic, and like I said, I think this is the fourth one, and I know it'll be a great one again for them.
Do we have a flyer out by chance?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
they do have a flyer out. on Ted Shomanicki's page.
Can somebody, you said Ted has it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and if I may have to go, I don't want to steal your stuff, Ted, but I may have to go ahead and get that flyer and start reposting that so we can kind of get the word out there some more. So I may have to start doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But hey, you two, thank you for joining me on the show tonight. I kind of want to get stuff out there. I know, Katie, you're pretty much, I want to use the word hibernating, but you're not competing, but you're still training. So I know you got your boys' basketball season in full effect, and I know you're doing that right now. So just want to say, hey, have a good season with your basketball with the boys. Alvin, you keep doing what you're doing because you're also doing good things. People in the chat have said so. You keep doing what you're doing. Once again, Katie, no pressure. You're my favorite to win it, so don't disappoint me. No, I'm just playing. but no, do your thing. I'm excited for it. But again, hey, it's what is this? Tell them about December 20th. Oh, well, hold on. What is this now? Tell them about the event.
I appreciate that. I'll plug it real quick. I didn't want to take away from Katie and the podcast or anything, but the Rumble at the Rooster, December 20th, has become a quite the card. It's my next event in 2 weeks. Our headliner is Ryan Bellinger and Robbie Russell, best of 5 right hands. So that is becoming huge. And I think the co-headliners Bryce Meadows and Quentin. Okay, his last name just left my head, of course, because I'm on this podcast. North American ranked left hand down in Tennessee with beast mode in them. But it's a big event. Another super match card because right now, Jody, that's all I've been doing, super match cards. But it's big, and I didn't want to plug that and take away from this. But
is it Quentin Murray?
Quentin Murray, yeah, Quentin Murray. Sorry, thanks, Lucky. I appreciate it. Yeah, Quentin Murray of Tennessee. And then, it's huge. Alec Guth and Joe Rogers, both hands. Jacob Green and Dustin Ramey, both hands. Paul Walther. It's huge. CJ Twine. It's gotten big.
Can someone send me that flyer too, so I can start?
I got you. Yeah, I can take care of that
out
for
there,
you.
So because the more we put that out there, the more eyes we get on that event. So can someone send me that too, and we can get that thing rolling also.
Yeah, that just hit the thing. I think that's going to end up being a pay-per-view. It's hit to the point I think it's going to be in a pay-per-view. So,
well, there you have it.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gents, YouTube, I'll let you get on with the rest of your Monday. But thank you for stopping by. I appreciate that. We'll talk soon.
Katie, go train.
Sure thing. Bye, y'all.
Bye. Oh, thanks.